welcome back. I'm Dai, and today I am bringing you my recent reads manga edition. This will be only manga and all the manga that I read from the last recent reads video until today. We have been reading quite a bit of manga lately, and so there are several volumes that I will be wrapping up in this video, so let's get started. First off, I finished volumes 14 through 18 of the series Blackbird, which is done by Kanoko Sakura Koji. You will know that I have been reading this for a while. It took me almost a year to finish this series, but I really enjoyed it. This is a supernatural romance type manga. I can see how many people would take issue with Misao and Kyo's relationship, but I didn't read critically into it at all. I read this to kind of step out of reality and for pure entertainment, and so I ended up giving all 5 of these volumes 4 stars and the entire series as a whole 4 stars. I really enjoy the mangaka's art style, and I look forward to reading another one of her series, which I do have, called Backstage Prince, soon. Just a side note on this one, there is some sexual content in it. Not in every volume, but it is in a couple volumes, so I would suggest this for more mature readers. You may know that I've been working on finishing between 3 to 6 series this year, and so Blackbird as a series makes my second series finished in 2016. I also read volumes 1 and 2 of Pandora Hearts by Jun Mochizuki. This is kind of a retelling on Alice in Wonderland. I'm kind of feeling so-so on this series right now. Now I know I've only read 2 volumes, but in those 2 volumes there's hasn't been anything to really draw me into the story, or I'm not feeling any kind of a connection to any of the characters. So I don't think that I will be continuing this series, at least not actively. If my daughter decides to pick up a volume, I may read it then, but as of right now, I don't plan on continuing the series, and I gave each of these volumes 3 stars. Then I read volumes 1, 2, and 3 of The Dreaming by Queenie-chan. This is about a pair of twin sisters who end up going to this boarding school where their aunt is a member of the board, and the aunt's only way to get them into the school was to tell the principal that they were actually sisters who were born 11 months apart instead of twins, because the principal hates twins. The girl's aunt kind of leaves them there at this school, which is in the middle of a forest, so it's away from everything, and the school has doors that are bolted shut and weird paintings, and then the girls start having weird nightmares, and then one of the students disappears. So the series follows these twins kind of unraveling the secret of the school. I really enjoyed this. As you may know, I do enjoy my mysteries. The story was engaging. It does leave on cliffhangers each volume, so if you don't like that, make sure you have the next volume ready to read when you're done with the previous one. This is a complete series. There are only 3 volumes. I am not counting this series as a completed series for my reading goal, though, because I am trying to only count series that I had started prior to this year. And so because I started this series and completed it in the same year, I am not going to count it towards my goal. I gave each of these volumes 4 stars and the series as a whole 4 stars. Then I read Color Bleach Plus, the Bleach official bootleg by Tite Kubo. Bleach is a pretty popular series, and my daughter and I have been watching the anime. I do own several of the manga volumes, and this is more of a fan guide. There are little comic strips about the video games that were released in Japan. And on the bottom of the comic strip, it does say video game released in Japan only. So there were several of those, and then in the back there was a character guide. So for true fans of Bleach, it was really interesting. I kind of skipped through the character guide and just read through the comics, but it was really enjoyable and hilarious, and I gave this one 4 stars. Then I followed that up with Zombie Powder, The Man with the Black Hand, Volume 1, also by Tite Kubo. This is his first manga series, and it's kind of a Western kind of treasure hunt, I guess. You have this boy named Ellswood who has a sister who is very sick, so he has been working with a gang to earn money, and he steals things for that gang to earn money. He comes across a guy named Gamma who is searching for the 12 rings of death, and once he obtains all 12 rings, it is said that he can make zombie powder, which is a substance that can bring someone back from the dead. Ellsworth ends up teaming up with Gamma to find these 12 rings of death. In this first volume, it's just about them kind of meeting each other and deciding to team up and try to find more rings. But there was a lot of fighting. Now in Bleach, there's a lot of fighting, but it's like you're fighting hollows. They're not like people. This one, Zombie Powder, it's people fighting. And I don't enjoy watching that or reading about it. So I probably won't be continuing this series. I did end up giving this volume 3 stars. If my daughter decides to continue it, I may pick up another volume, but as of right now, same with Pandora Hearts. If it's out of sight, I'm not going to actively look to read the next volume. Then I read Bakuman Volume 2 by Tsugumi Oba. This is a manga series about making manga. These 2 high school boys decide that they're going to team up together and try to create a manga, publish it, and get it turned into an anime by the time they're 18. I'm really enjoying this manga. The second volume had more of the trying to get published step in it, so that was a lot more interesting. So I am looking forward to continuing with this series and seeing if our 2 characters are successful in their attempt to publish and get their manga animated. I gave this volume 4 stars. Then I read Takeru Opera Suzuno Sword of the Devil Volume 1 by Kazuki Nakashima. This, I can't even tell you what it's about because I didn't like it at all. I kind of skimmed through most of it. From what I gathered, it was about 3 characters named Takeru, and they are trying to find this mythical sword. Again, there was a lot of fighting. I mean, the artwork was nice, but the story just didn't interest me. I did give the volume 3 stars, and I probably won't be reading the next volume. Then I read volumes 1 and 2 of Witchcraft Works by Ryumi Tsunagi. This one is about a boy who is kind of not popular, and he rides the bus to school every day with the most popular and beautiful girl in the school, but he can't like talk to her. And so one day he gets attacked, and this girl comes in and saves him. Turns out that he's special and she is his protector, which is why she's always around him. And so the story progresses where he's trying to find out why he needs a protector, why she's trying to protect him, why he's so special, and she won't tell him. And the more he gets attacked, the more questions he has, and eventually he finds out that this girl is a witch and she has magical powers, and that's what she uses to save him. I do find the story pretty entertaining. it was exactly what I needed after having two series back to back where I just didn't enjoy what I read. So I will be continuing with Witchcraft Works. In fact, I have volumes 3 and 4 right here from the library, and so I am excited to get back into that. I gave both of these volumes 4 stars. Then I read Bloody Kiss Volume 2 by Kazuko Furumiya. This one was about the girl who inherits the mansion from her grandmother and goes and finds that the mansion is actually inhabited by 2 vampires. So this was a duology. This was the last book in the duology, and it was good. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. There's nothing real thought-provoking or anything in the story. So just a light, enjoyable read. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. Then I read volumes 2 and 3 of Moon Boy. This one's by Lee Young-yu. This is actually considered a manhwa, which is a Korean comic. I read volume 1 almost a year ago, if not over a year ago. So when I finally picked up volume 2, it was a little hard for me to get back into the story because I could not remember what was going on. This one is about foxes and rabbits. So the rabbits and the foxes inhabited the moon until the foxes almost wiped out the rabbits. So the rabbits go to Earth to try to escape the foxes. So now you have these Earth rabbits, and they're very rare because not very many of them survived. And the foxes have now come to Earth, and they are searching for the black rabbit. And the black rabbit is very special, has special powers. These foxes and rabbits actually look like regular humans until they transform, and even when they transform, they only grow ears, or not very many of their features change. This was pretty interesting. Like I said, it was hard for me to get back into the story, but once I figured everything out and had my daughter fill me in on what had happened before, it was enjoyable. And so I gave both of these volumes 3 stars. I will be continuing the series. So that's the 19 volumes of manga that I have read since my previous recent reads manga video. As you can see, I do still have more from the library here. There's another stack over there from the library, and I just picked up these new volumes right here this weekend. So there will be more manga on the horizon. Let me know if you've read any of these. I would love to discuss them with you. I probably didn't do too great of a job explaining the synopsis for most of these series, so if you go over to my blog, which I'll link down below, I will link the first volumes of every series that I talked about in case you're interested in any of them. I hope you're all doing great, and until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.